This is Jay High from Couch and Keyboard back at it with another Smash player profile. This time I want to take a little bit of a step back, from a few years ago where this player was really in a lot of attention. Hasn't been quite as strong, but is still doing very well. And that player is Kurama. Now, Kurama, formerly known as Prodigy, is a pretty young player from the California, I think technically from Central California, but mainly competes in NorCal. I think from like the Sacramento area, um, or at least competes there some. But either way, Kurama is a young player, got started very early. If you see 21 right now, started in Smash 4. First tournament is in 2015. He was born in 2005. When he was like, what, 10 and a half? He was already going to tournaments. To some people, it's like, oh, video games, Smash Bros. Is like an E10 plus or teen game, whatever. Going to tournaments is usually like a teenage to adult thing. Because how do you get to the tournament? Like maybe you do some online stuff, but like online tournaments weren't really that they weren't really that popular back in the day. People just play like for glory on Wii U, and then eventually they would play like Elite Smash for Ultimate. But started attending a decent amount. We go to some events and started doing pretty good. 49th at this 2GG tournament, and started doing very well. Some of these didn't do quite as well. They started to get bigger, but has a lot of experience going to Smash 4 events. Attended a ton of these stuff. And then eventually came out the gate swinging for Ultimate. Getting a couple good wins here in 2018. The game came out like in December. So it was grinding from the very first month, and then already got a bunch of good wins. Cosmos, Myron, Dark Wizzy, Goblin, Louis Money, which, if you're gonna play Louis Money a lot for being in NorCal, yeah, that's gonna happen. Abadongo, Fatality, just doing really strong. But I think most people learned about Prodigy at the time was beating MKLeo in 2020. Frostbite 2020 was a very, very big tournament because it came out in 2018. 2019, there was a lot of patches. There was some DLC. So many matchups, it was hard to keep track of. So early 2020 with Genesis and then Frostbite, the game was really moving. Unfortunately, things had to happen in 2020. But for this, Kurama ended up beating Beast, a pretty solid Pokemon trainer. Riddles, I think, I don't know if Terry was out at the time. I think Riddles was playing Belmont at this time, I think. And then 3-0'd the 1 seed MKLeo. Like, what? People had no idea what to make of this. Now, did go 0-2 after this, and, top 24. Pretty reasonable. These are good players here. But it was like, who 3-0's MKLeo like this? I mean, like 2019, 2020 MKLeo was so good. Almost unbeatable. Very few sets dropped to anyone. And to 3-0, and this was 2020, so he was 15 at the time. A 15-year-old 3-0ing probably the best player in the world. Unheard of. And then we have quarantine. Some players don't enter very much online. It's whatever. Eventually we come back. And a certain streamer starts to get really big and wants to throw a really big tournament. His name is Ludwig. I'm very familiar with him. And so he decided to host Ludwig Smash Invitational. Hosted a bunch of highly ranked players, which Kurama did get ranked in 20... Here, let me check this. So, okay. We got 37th in the spring of 2019. Likely there would have been a ranking period in 2020, but with only like 2.5 months, they didn't really go for that. But was entering some stuff here and there. But Ludwig Smash Invitational was when Kurama, as he was renamed, got a ton of attention. So there were some LCQ spots. It was a 32-person invitational, 24 invited, 8 LCQs. Just threw a double elim up to top 8. Beat Shattuck, who Shattuck was a very good Corrin main. Also beat Yanni and got his way to winner side top 8. And so then it was like, okay, you're technically a top 28 seed out of 32 with these other 3 players in winner still. Okay. It could work out, but it's probably going to be pretty challenging. Starts out, beats T. T hasn't been as strong recently, but a solid win. I think Kazuya had been out by now, but also had been playing Pac-Man. Did very well. Then lost to DeBuzz. Sometimes DeBuzz gets you, where the matchups can be difficult. Then beats Zachary, which Zachary wasn't quite as strong this part of Ultimate as Zachary was early Ultimate, but still a very good win. Then beats Gluto. So it's like all these players from outside of the U.S. This was held in Las Vegas, so not too far from Kurama. That did help West Coast players to be able to enter the LCQ if they lived close by. But made the most of it and got a bunch of good wins. So it's like, okay, you made it into final bracket. That's good. Top 16 out of a LCQ spot. Nothing to be sad about. Good stuff. Beat Spargo, Cola, and Shootone to get winners finals. Incredible. Like, this is a crazy run from a player who was in the LCQ and then was fighting MK Leo, who he had beaten a few years prior. So it was like he 3-0'd MK Leo and he beat everyone. Is Kurama going to win this tournament? Well, didn't quite happen. Did lose to MK Leo and Akala to get third place. Took a game in both sets and outplaced a ton of good players. Like, this was an incredible run. Ended up getting him ranked to be 11th. Very, very good. And it was like, okay, if you don't know this kid by now, who was 17 at the time, you better know him, because he is incredible. And so that was definitely the peak of Kurama's career. Getting a bunch of good wins. Also, like, Anathema was going off this year. And T was number 5. Also got 2 more Shootone wins. And doing very, very solidly. Got more Louis Money wins. And then 2023 ended up beating Spargo and MK Leo again. Now, not quite as strong in 2023. As you see the rankings, got 20th in mid-year, 25th. Like, still hanging in the top very well. 2024 didn't quite enter as much. Stayed mainly local. Got a few good wins. Omega was getting better. Captain Cito, I think, was in Vegas at the time. Kurama also has some Lammers experience in the matchup of Me Gunner. So there we go. Doing all right, but not nearly as strong. And then came back in 2025. Keeps beating MK Leo. I mean, you're doing something right if you keep beating Leo. Now, Leo did start attending NorCal events a lot. And so that'll help, just more likely to get those wins. Monty started getting better. A SoCal Game & Watch. Beat Riddles again. Just doing really strong. Beating Akala at Level Up Expo. This was a crazy tournament because Akala also lost to Skinny the Pooh to get 33rd, losing to 2 Marios. But this was really, really strong. I mean, Akala being super consistent, rarely losing to anyone. Like, Spargo was kind of his bracket demon, but besides that, wouldn't really lose very often at all. I think had like a Big D lost to MK Leo at the LSI, Lowest Smash Invitational. But still really strong. Ended up getting ranked for 2025, 53rd, 43rd, 49th. Kind of like a bunch of people kind of put him, top 50. Very solid. And, I mean, especially with Japan getting so much more favorability with their events. Not saying it's unfair, but it started to get really difficult if you were not going to Japan events to get good wins, and still managed to. Uh, probably one of the best players on the West Coast in Ultimate's history. I mean, you have Latin America, you have Tweak and Zomba, and now Syrup and Lights on the East Coast. But Kurama might have a case for the best West Coast player like of America in Ultimate's history. You probably have to look at it, but definitely up there. And I mean, just with the names of wins he has so far are just incredible. And I believe got top 64. I think top 32 at Genesis. Not quite doing as strongly, but Bubs has been doing very well. So a Bubs win is good. I heard it was pronounced differently, but mild, not H.0. I don't know, man. Japan's hard to keep track of. Got this win. Who was number 44? That's really good. Got some. I know Widara is NorCal. I don't think Anthony isn't cool. I think it's like Midwest. But either way, getting a few solid wins. Not quite as present in the meta as he used to be. But, I mean, between him and Snow in contention for best Mario, super consistent player. Like, yeah, there's going to be some difficulty here and there. But, I mean, this ranking is really good. Like, yeah, 2024 was, not a very strong year, but also just didn't enter that much. And so when he was entering a lot, I mean, this is very good. Like, mid-year 2022, 93rd, and then turns it around to 11th, or Orion rank gave him 24th. I guess this was a year-long ranking. This was just a half-year ranking. So balanced it out to get all the way to 24th for the full year. Very, very strong. And so I'm just really curious to see what Kurama can do, because players have experience in the Mario matchup. Everyone knows how to play against Mario. I mean, you almost always have a Mario at your local that can do all these double up air into spike combos, and you're dead at 60, and it's like, oh man, I thought he was the jack of all trades, master of none, but he seems like a master of a lot of them right now. And so a lot of people know the Mario matchup very well. Like, yeah, you have some down air mix-ups off the top, like, because up B doesn't really kill very often. Like, Mario's a secondary of mine, so I was really interested in seeing, like, how does he do it? Like, when the simple characters are able to do this stuff, like Yoshidora is another one. I'm like, how does it work? Because like, there's some characters that are really technical, and I'm like Sheik, seeing like Sen or Web JP just going crazy. Like, it's like, okay, like really, really impressive stuff. I can't do it, but like a lot of these characters, I can do it. I just don't, because it's so like precise and they're so disciplined. I mean, like, I'm a masher. So I definitely like am just going out, but like the patience you need to play Mario, because like you can get some early kills, but sometimes you just don't, and sometimes you have to get a back air at 170, and that's how it goes. And just the ability to stay composed and to get these really amazing wins is really impressive. So I'm curious to see more from old Kurama here. Not quite old, only 21, but yeah, I definitely want to see more. And Level Up Expo is coming back, so we could definitely see some more wins. He has a really good track record against Japan. I mean, lifetime wins are a lot of people outside of America. Yara win as well. Like, really strong against players from all over the world. Which I know sometimes the play style of a country is kind of overstated. It's just players play the game how they want. But I think just being able to play anyone and have a good shot at it seems to be very good at all of our matchup. But this really strong and good at the Steve matchup. Has a Zomba win, a bunch of Cosmos wins, bunch of I think it was Joker. But between Byleth, Joker, Aegis, like having a strong history against MKLeo. Really good Spargo wins. Like, Kurama, if given a good bracket, I could easily see a winners finals again. I mean, I think that the sky is the limit for Kurama. Certainly, there's going to be some matchups that I imagine are pretty difficult. Like, I don't think Doramiki would go very well. But you never know. I mean, I think that Kurama has a lot of potential in so many different matchups, and I want to see more. So, yeah, if you have a player you want me to talk about, I'm going to keep doing these Smash player profiles every so often, along with some other general tournament stuff. But, yeah, thanks for watching.